დღეს ჩვენ გვაქვს პატივი ოფიციალურად გახსნილად გამოვაცხადოთ ევროკავშირის მიერ დაფინანსებული პროექტი კვალიფიკაციის ამაღლება საერთაშორისო ურთიერთობების სფეროში. აღნიშნული პროექტი არის ორწლიანი და ხორციელდება ევროპის სამეზობლო პოლიტიკისა და აღმოსავლეთ პარტნიორობის ინსტრუმენტების ფარგლებში. 2013 წლის ნოემბერში ვილნიუსის სამიტზე ასოცირების შეთანხმების პარაფირების შემდეგ ამ პროექტმა განსაკუთრებული მნიშვნელობა შეიძინა. პროექტის მთავარი მიზანია ხელი შეუწყოს საქართველოს ევროინტეგრაციის პროცესს ინსტიტუციური განვითარების გზით. მის ფარგლებში საჯარო მოხელეებს შეეძლებათ აიმაღლონ კვალიფიკაცია საერთაშორისო ურთიერთობებისა და ევროკავშირთან დაკავშირებულ საკითხებზე. ასევე იგი ითვალისწინებს საგარეო საქმეთა სამინისტროს სასწავლო ცენტრის განვითარებას. პროექტის მთავარი ბენეფიციარები არიან საქართველოს საგარეო საქმეთა სამინისტრო, საქართველოს ეკონომიკისა და მდგრადი განვითარების სამინისტრო, საქართველოს ევროპულ და ევროატლანტიკურ სტრუქტურებში ინტეგრაციის სახელმწიფო მინისტრის აპარატი და საგარეო საქმეთა სამინისტროს სასწავლო ცენტრი. ევროკავშირის პროექტს ახორციელებს კონსორციუმი, რომელსაც სათავეში უდგას ევროპის კოლეჯი, ესტონეთის დიპლომატიის სკოლასა და საქართველოს სტრატეგიისა და საერთაშორისო ურთიერთობების კვლევის ფონდთან ერთად. მინდა მადლობა გადაუხადო პროექტის დაფინანსებისთვის ევროკავშირის დელეგაციას, კონსორციუმის წევრებს და პროექტის ექსპერტებს გაწეული შრომისათვის და იმედს ვიტოვებ, რომ აღნიშნული პროექტი დიდ სარგებლობას მოუტანს საქართველოს საჯარო მოხელეებს და საქართველოს ევროკავშირის ინტეგრაციის გზაზე. დიდი მადლობა.
Thank you very much, dear Minister, Excellencies. It's a great honor for me to be here today and to open officially this capacity building in international relations project. I think it's a very timely project because we see a kind of acceleration of history. Minister just mentioned the Vilnius summit and where we initialed the association agreement, the DCFTA, and now we are heading towards the signature. And I mean, the deadlines are coming closer and closer. The European Council yesterday, which discussed Ukraine, of course, but also made a specific reference to Georgia and to Moldova. And it was stated that the association agreement and the DCFTA should be signed by the end of August, and we may even sign it earlier. So we see that there is a great need to speed up the preparation to this agreement and to build the capacity to implement it, because we will have to deliver. The signature is not the end of the story. We will have to implement this very important agreement, the association agreement and the free trade area agreement. And Georgia will benefit a lot from a very well-trained team of professionals, which will not only be able to negotiate, but to implement the obligations foreseen by our agreements. And I see a number of ambassadors from other countries, and I think all Georgian partners will benefit from this capacity building project. I would like also to stress that this week has been particularly intensive. We had the visit of Commissioner Füle, and we signed 2 agreements this week to support the development of the Parliament of Georgia, but also to work in the field of public finance management. So we see that our activities are really multifaceted, that we are targeting a lot of stakeholders in the Georgian society. And I would like to mention also yesterday a civil society fair that we opened, and where we presented 34 new projects with civil society organizations. So it shows that Georgia is getting closer and closer to the EU, and that we are working at all levels in Georgia, at the level of authorities, ministries, civil society, parliament, and so on. And I would like to, of course, to congratulate the implementers of this project and to wish them a successful implementation. Of course, the College of Bruges was mentioned. We have the Estonian School of Diplomacy, and we have the GFSIS on the Georgian side. So I would like to once again greet you to this opening. I would like to wish a successful implementation, a lot of successful work, together with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, with the Ministry of Economic Development, and the State Ministry of Euro and Euro-Atlantic integration. So thank you very much for this opportunity to say a few words, and once again it's the start of a process, and we'll see in the coming 1 year and a half what will be the achievement of these projects, which will be now presented in more details by the partners involved in the implementation of this project. So thank you very much for your attention.
Dear Minister, Excellencies, dear friends, it's also a bit of a personal pleasure for me to be here. I've been working in Georgia, with Georgia, from Estonia with Georgia for a long time, and I think that this project has a lot to offer to Georgia. The name of the project, as you of course can see, is Capacity Building in International Relations, and as far as I know, initially there were a couple of projects planned to support Georgian diplomatic service and civil service. And one was to support the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and its newly established diplomatic training center, and the other project was to be launched to support in general international relations training for other ministries. At one point these two project plans were merged, and it's not only that it's a technical thing, but it's also a very substantial matter, because international relations in the 21st century is not the prerogative of a foreign minister or a foreign ministry. All line ministries, especially also now Georgia being in the tube for the association and DCFTA agreement, but also facing the daunting task of implementation of this agreement. All the line ministries, they all have to be able to communicate with Brussels, with their foreign counterparts. And also, by the way, I hope that through this program and through this project, we can also streamline internal cooperation between line ministries. So international relations in general is the main focus of the project, but of course many of the activities come from the Georgia's EU approximation process, and it is very important to me also that the diplomatic training center, whom we also in a way have helped to create, will be part of the process, not only learning, but also learning by doing, helping to implement the trainings. And this is the best way to guarantee that the Diplomatic Training Center will also have a prosperous future. The sustainability factor is taken into account. Other beneficiaries, Minister of Economy and Sustainable Development, State Minister's Office. We have discussed the matter with other beneficiaries, and as I mentioned, we will even to a certain extent enlarge the scope of beneficiaries, because some people from other line ministries, President's Office, State Chancellery, they also need exposure to such kind of capacity building. I would like to introduce also to speak a few words about our team and the consortium. As it was mentioned, the College of Europe in Bruges is the leading partner. Estonian School of Diplomacy and Georgian Foundation for Strategic and International Studies are the other project partners. In a way, I would claim, and maybe not being impartial, but still I think it's the best you can get, because it brings together the experience of old Europe and new Europe. I know these are not terribly politically correct terms, but I would pronounce them anyway. And of course, the knowledge of international relations in Georgia through GFSAS. Throughout the 2 years, we will be arranging 26 training seminars. More than 500 diplomats and civil servants will be trained. 7 study visits will be arranged for the Georgian diplomats and civil servants, and we will try to keep the element of flexibility in the program, because it is a moving target, and what is valid today might not be that relevant next year, and we will try to accommodate the needs of the Georgian Foreign Service and Civil Service also flexibly next year. So maybe I would still introduce a couple of people who are relevant and very important in this project, and who are good colleagues of mine, and whom I would invite you to work closely with, and whose faces I would perhaps suggest you familiarize, because they will be knocking on your door and asking questions and asking for input into the project. Perhaps I will start with Maja Kipšice. She's the head of the Diplomatic Training Center in Georgia. Many of you know her, but maybe not all of you. Richard Lucking is the team leader of the project. And Eva also is the representative of the College of Europe. So these are the people who we work most closely with. And well, at the end of the day, what do we want to achieve? As my good friend Tamara Beruchashvili said, perhaps we want to achieve Europeanization of the Georgian civil service. So I hope that by the end of 2 years, we will have achieved, I'm not naive, not totally the goal, but let's hope we are almost there. So thank you for your attention, and good luck to all our partners, and looking forward to fruitful cooperation. Okay, thank you.